Do you, perhaps, dear viewer, enjoy watching anime girls fight big giant monsters with their big giant weapons? Do you like hearing people rant about said anime girls with big giant weapons fighting big giant monsters? Well, you've stumbled across the right place. As a very big fan of this show since it first came out, I love and adore this show to bits, but as I get older and way more invested in this show, I realize this show isn't what it used to be, or we expected it to be now, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on your opinion on the show. I took a step back from the show during the release of Season 9, because I couldn't watch it on Crunchyroll. I'm too cheap to pay for a subscription, and I refuse to give in to Crunchyroll's capitalistic views. I really miss RWBY. RWBY was the best. Now it's just overtaken by Crunchyroll. And I'm not gonna pirate it. So when I inevitably couldn't watch Season 9, I just decided to rewatch the show again because, I could. And, I kind of got a little sledgehammer in the face, if you know what I mean, by how many flaws I noticed when rewatching it. I mean, there's always going to be flaws when you decide to rewatch a piece of media. Since you've already watched it before, you can pay attention to other details and aspects of the show. And maybe because you're rewatching it, you get to see some of the foreshadowing that was put in the early parts of the show. And it opens up your eye to a whole new world of possibilities that was implemented into this show. I mean, I've rewatched RWBY before, but before I was just rewatching it for fun. This time, I came into it with a critical eye, and with that, this is kind of like a RWBY video essay / review overall of the show, not including Season 9 and not including some of the spin-off shows or movies. So with that, let's just get on with the video. Haha, I can say that now. I can totally say that now. Anyways, so RWBY has a lot of great ideas and concepts implemented into their world, which makes it so unique. And honestly, a bunch of character creation, world building, character outfits are mostly good. There's one or two bad ones in there, at least in my opinion. Remember, this is all opinion based in actuality, but it's also my review and I get to do what I want. There is also the weapons. We love the weapons, and just honestly the fact that other weapons can turn into other weapons. They all have some sort of gun implemented in them, like America. But and the animation didn't suck, but we all knew that the models weren't the best, and maybe some of the voice acting, but the way they animated the fight scenes and the way the weapons worked and transformed, beautiful. We all loved it. It was cocaine for us. And sure, a child probably shouldn't have watched it, aka me, who was how old was I? Bear with me. I didn't write the script very well. But honestly, with unrestricted internet access and YouTube at my disposal, nothing was stopping me from seeing this trailer. So, back to the weapons, the actions, the music. I feel all the songs and the soundtrack that the show has is amazing. It's top tier. Someone cooked here, and Jeff Williams, he cooked. I also love the way that their Semblances, which is it's magic, but it's canonically not magic, and it's an ability each character has and tied to them specifically, but they can also be slightly genetic and also can be triggered or be based off of traumatic experiences that the characters lead in the world of Remnant. Oh, and also Yin and Adam have really similar semblances when it comes to the basis nature of it, where they basically can take in an attack and release it back onto the attacker. Now, these semblances are really similar, but the way that the characters use their semblance or the way that it affects them really stands out true to a character. Because Yang is headstrong, she gets angry very easily, she is most likely to take on the attacks on her own body and recklessly release them, while Adam's the more silent, individual type who runs an organization, so he's a leader and he knows how to deal in battle, so he takes the attack onto his sword rather than damaging his own body and releases it that way. That's probably why he defeated Yang when they first went up against each other. And anyways, that's what I think RWBY does really well when it comes to semblances. And most people already know this, but if you're unaware, most, if not all of the RWBY characters, background or main, are based off of fairy tales, folklore, myths. And once you know this small fact about the theming of the world, you can really tell, because when I first watched the show, I couldn't tell that they were based off of fairy tales and myths, but once I found out about this little fun fact, you can actually really tell, because it's kind of obvious with RWBY and the creators of RWBY, RWBY, I believe that's what they go by, did an amazing job when it came to Penny's, Neo's, Crow's, and Cinder's character outfits, except for Cinder in that one era of time, but we don't talk about that Cinder. But some character designs that aren't ruinable are the Grimm, the funky little monsters that, hunt everybody, cause mayhem, pain, suffering, and in my opinion, they're some of the most unbeatable character designs, or monster designs, and, I wonder if you could just merge the characters and the monsters of Grimm together. Wonder what kind of character design you'd get. You just a thought, some food for thought. And something I've noticed when it comes to the monsters of Grimm that I really enjoy is the fact that the more beastly Grimm, like the ones that are based off of animals, elephants, wolves, bears, crows, oftentimes can be powerful based off of their size and numbers, but are quite literally just goons for the characters to kill and then move on. But the more humanoid Grimm, the ones that mimic humans, oftentimes are the most scariest, unimaginable thing in this show. I mean, not really, but when I was a kid watching this show, this type of Grimm, this humanoid Grimm, put the fear in God in me. And it's not because I was watching it right before I was going to go to sleep, but because of the way it moves and it interacts with the world, and how maybe just even one of these creatures could kill an entire town and cause so much fear and destruction and decay. It just blows my mind, and it's a nice little tidbit. And in general, the white and the black with accents of red and yellow kind of pull me in. They entice me. It's we know that in the world of RWBY, colors are a very important aspect of the world. People named their kids after colors. And it makes me kind of think a little, because the only colors that the Grimm have are red, white, red, and yellow, which frankly, I don't think this is a coincidence, but the fact that the main main colors are red, yellow, white, and black, I feel like it alludes to something in the future, something that the world will throw upon us. And with that last tidbit of information I've snuck into your little brain, maybe you already knew that little theory, maybe you didn't, but either way, This video has to be cut short. I know, you love hearing me ramble, but I honestly would have fit more ramblings if I could, but time constraints and, I've already spent over 6 hours on this video. I think I'm gonna call it quits. Maybe I'll post other videos talking about all the other stuff I wanted to, rant on about. Maybe not. Either way, you're gonna still be hearing from me, whoever is watching. That I see you in the corner. I see you back there. I know, I'm amazing. My content, perfect. Either way, I'd like to hear your opinions and thoughts on the amazing show of RWBY down in the comments below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you agree with what I said? Or do you want to burn me in a hole for disagreeing about your favorite character? And with that, this 11-minute rant is now over.